Hello and welcome today to this briefing from the Spencer Teaching School Hub on the National Professional Qualifications. This briefing is particularly around the Leading Behaviour and Culture NPQ, and we have got other briefing events that you'll find on our YouTube channel that looks at the other NPQ qualifications. So the aim of today's session is to give you a run through of what the Leading Behaviour and Culture NPQ consists of and how you might apply for it, but also to put into context where it fits within the whole professional development offer. So what's really nice to see is this coherent approach from the DFE that has a golden thread running right from initial teacher training through to the early career framework and that specialised offer for the early career teachers to the national professional qualifications. The reformed NPQs have split the NPQs into two different sections. We've got the specialist NPQs, which are the NPQ for leading teaching, the NPQ for leading behaviour and culture, and the NPQ for leading teacher development. And those reformed NPQs that you will have seen in the version before, which is the NPQ SL, the NPQ for headship, although this does have an additional offer within this reformed suite, and then the NPQ for executive leadership. So all the NPQs have a learn that and learn how to, and in fact it's the same format that you'll find both in the ITT and also through the early career framework for early teachers as well. The one that I've put on here is directly from the NPQ for leading behaviour and culture, and you can see that I've taken it from module 3, which is around enabling conditions for good behaviour. And if we just dive into this a little bit, you can see that it's very pupil focused, which is what we'd expect, and that's such a real positive from the specification that's been put together here. And it also talks in here, you can see around point 2 on here, that around that whole school change that you may be looking at managing or aspiring to manage sometimes takes a little while to embed, and it's got some learning around that and around that real embedding of learning, not just those initial changes that you might bring. So all these specialist NPQs have the same format. They all have 5 blocks of learning, and they all have a mixture of face-to-face, online live webinars, recorded webinars and self-study. And from what you can see on here, you can see the real mix. So the self-study will be approximately 30 hours of study, and then you've got 2 blocks where you'd be out for a day of face-to-face training on there as well. So hopefully you can see how that comes together to provide this coherent offer. So who should consider doing an NPQ in leading behaviour and culture? It's for those that either have responsibility at the moment or are aspiring to have responsibility for either leading behaviour or supporting pupil wellbeing in their school or across a group of schools. So why might you decide to take this qualification in leading behaviour and culture? Well, those of you that are either aspiring to or leading behaviour and people well-being within schools know that it's a role with multiple challenges. It's quite likely that you're managing and influencing very many different roles within the education setting. That might be teachers or heads of year, or it may be tutors, but there'll certainly be a lot of balancing within your role. So within the NPQ leading behaviour and culture, there'll be strategies around how to best deal with that. There is a real focus on this qualification on behaviour management, but that also has a focus on how we create that nurturing environment. I think it's really exciting that the qualification looks at school ethos and how to adapt and change school ethos, and how that needs to be very much pupil centred. The qualification has obviously been newly written. It contains completely up-to-date materials, and it's very much linked to the current challenges faced within schools within the education system. So a little bit more around the outline of this particular NPQ. So the Behaviour and Culture NPQ has got 5 blocks of learning, the same as all the specialist NPQs. It's a 12-month duration, which consists of 55 hours of study. So the 5 different elements that we'd look at as we're delivering on behaviour and culture would be leading improvement, and then effective behaviour management, developing others, looking in the classroom and enabling those great conditions for learning, and then linking to really complex behavioural needs and more understanding around those to the final one, which is working in partnership to deliver changes. If you'd like to dive a little bit deeper into each one of those modules, you'll see at the bottom there I've put the link to the DFE and the full specification for this qualification. So some nuggets that we might want to take away from this qualification. So its aim is to create a shared responsibility for pupil outcome. So shared between school, between all different stakeholders within the school, and that's something again that's really important with it. It in the Learn How To, it talks around how to align professional development with the school priorities, so that those are very much in a line and you're working together within the school or within the trust around that. Additionally, and equally importantly, is around teacher workload and how the changes that we look at in terms of leading behaviour and culture come with workload management considerations as well. It gives you a chance to look at expert conversations such as coaching, and it gives you a chance to look at data to plan strategically. And it also gives you a chance within the sessions to look at how to start as a trial and start small scale, and then to scale up your approaches across a school or across groups of schools. In this section, we'll have a brief look around scholarships and course costs, but as with all the slides, please don't hesitate to contact us should you require some more information on this. So it's not automatically that everyone will have a scholarship for the leading behaviour and culture. The scholarship criteria is that you have or you're aspiring to leading pupil welfare or behaviour within your school, and that you work in a state school that's within the top 30 percentile in relation to pupil premium. So that's the top 30% of pupil premium schools within England, not that you've got a 30% pupil premium measure within your school. If you're not sure on particularly that second section whether your school means that you're eligible for a fully funded place or not, then please don't hesitate to contact the Spencer Teaching School Hub and we can check that information for you. If you are not eligible for a fully funded place, then there is an option to be able to pay for the course, and the cost is £875 per delegate. There's some next steps that are contained on this slide. It's actually the individual person that registers on the DFE portal for the NPQs, and the link you'll find on the slide here. And there's also how to use the portal. We've recorded a video which will give you step-by-step guidance, and there's a second link there as well. Just as an extra point on here, as you start to click on the portal, it'll ask you who the lead provider is, and Spencer Teaching School Hub have chosen to work with Education Development Trust. So if you're working with us to gain one of those NPQ qualifications, then we'd ask that you select Education Development Trust as your lead provider, please. And the final bit of information that I've got on the slide here is just some of those links drawn together for you in this final slide. So if you would like some more information on NPQs generally, there's a booklet that's linked in on that first bullet point, some more information about Education Development Trust, second one down, and that DFE portal that I've just spoken about is on third one, and then the walkthrough video of how to use that portal is there. As we come to close this briefing event, just a final reminder that we are here to help. So if you've got particular questions around whether this NPQ is for you, or what it might be involved in more detail, or there's particular questions that I haven't answered during this session, then there's an email at the bottom there, just npq@spencerteachingschoolhub.com, and we really look forward to both working with you and hearing from you. And good luck with your journey through your NPQ qualifications. Thanks very much, and goodbye for now.